Hi, it's Alaska Granny. Whether you're a beginning prepper or maybe you've taken a break, it might be time to get that food storage going again. Sometimes it's great to go back and just review the very basics. What are the foods that you could start with? How can you build up a prepper pantry food storage stockpile a little at a time and with basic foods? Perhaps money is running short. Things cost way more than they used to, so it can be more difficult to figure out what to buy, how long can it last, and what are some great foods to add to my food storage stockpile. No matter who you listen to or where you begin, it's always with beans and rice. And yes, beans and rice because they're cheap, they're filling, cooked together, they make an easy meal, they make a complete protein. You can really get filled up with rice and beans. You can add all kinds of different spices, vegetables, seasonings, and make them into many different types of meals that are cheap. They also are going to last nearly forever if you store them in an airtight container. So start with rice and beans, get the big bags if you can, and if you don't have enough money, get a small bag of many different kinds of beans if you want, but make sure that you're getting a nice supply. Try to have at least 20 pounds of rice, 20 pounds of beans. If you can't afford to get the big bag, just buy one little bag at a time and put them away in an airtight container. The better you store your food, the longer it's going to last. So you want to at least seal them up in a jar, put them into a plastic container with a tight-fitting lid, and if you have more money, more time, more food, you can get Mylar bags, add oxygen absorbers, store them in 5-gallon buckets, and then it can last nearly forever. But if you haven't gotten anything, start your food storage with some basic rice and beans. Next, move on to something like oatmeal. You can buy it just at the store. I've also purchased oatmeal from the LDS or the Mormon Church already sealed in a number 10 can. This is going to last for 30 years or even more. It's top quality and it's not very expensive. When you order from the LDS or the Mormon Church, the price is for a box with 6 cans of the identical food. They have all kinds of foods that you can buy already sealed in the number 10 can, so if you're interested in looking for those long term, I'll put a link to the website so you can look that up if you're interested. You can go to the store and buy a big box of oatmeal, and then you likely would have breakfast for one person for nearly a month, and that can be comforting to know that for just a few dollars you have a lot of food on hand. Pasta is also a food that can last nearly forever, but you don't want to just keep it in the cardboard box because it can get chewed on, spilled on, and it can get stale. So you want to put it into some kind of an airtight container. Sometimes I buy the long straight ones and then I just break them in half and put them into a clean jar and put on a tight-fitting lid. It keeps all the bugs and critters out and helps it last the longest. If you're stocking up on pasta, get some pasta sauces. You can buy it in a can, in a jar. You can even just get canned tomatoes and spice it up and make your own sauces that way. There are lots of different ways to spice up pasta and turn it into a nice big meal. The next food I would stock up on is canned meat. I like chicken. You can also find beef, ham, all kinds of different fish. You can find some interesting meats like Spam, luncheon loaf, mackerel, even Vienna sausages. Find the meats that you enjoy eating and that you know how to make a meal with them and you're willing to eat. You don't want to buy food because it's on someone's list but it's not something you want going into your mouth. You want to stock up on foods that you want to eat. I like to keep a big supply of ready-to-eat meals that are already in a can. You can also find them in a pouch or even in a little dish, but the cans tend to last the longest and be the least expensive. Look for everything from chili, ravioli, soups, stews, casseroles. There's all kinds of meals that are in a can. Look them over and buy the ones that are appealing to you. If you see one you want to try and you don't know if you'll like it, take one home and try it. If you like it, go back and get more. Don't load up and find out that it's something you don't care for at all. Your prepper pantry and your food storage stockpile needs to be full of food that you enjoy eating. Next, get a supply of canned vegetables and canned fruits. I find that the canned fruits don't last as long as other foods. They just seem to bloat and explode, but they will last for quite a few years. I've not had problems with pull top lids popping off. I know people say that they don't last as long, but that's not been something that I've experienced, so I wouldn't be afraid to load up on cans that have a pop top. Plus, you need to figure also when you go to the store, sometimes you don't have a choice. You have to get them that way. If you enjoy peanut butter, get a few jars. I like to get the smaller ones because I feel like it stays fresher longer if when I get to the bottom of this jar, I get to open a fresh jar rather than have to dig down into some big family style peanut butter jar. But if you have a big family, then that would make more sense for you. Buy the size of foods that meets your family's specific needs. Don't worry about running out of bread. Have some crackers that go well with peanut butter. If you have crackers and peanut butter in your pantry, you can pull it out, put it together, and make a meal that can tide you over. Does your family eat cereal? Stock up on some of that. Don't get more than you can eat in a reasonable amount of time, though, because if you don't eat cereal every day, having 10 boxes is not a good idea if it's going to go stale, and cereal will go stale. But it's easy to just snack on it out of the box or pour it into a bowl. That's why you also might want to have either powdered milk of some kind or the shelf-stable milk that you can buy in a carton that can live on the pantry shelf, the UHT milk. It's ultra high temperature pasteurized so that it's shelf stable, and it can sit in the pantry unopened for like a year. I've also stored some in the refrigerator unopened, and they were still good 2 years later. Everybody doesn't have room in their refrigerator for a carton of milk, but know that they are great. You want to try to find the foods with the longest date on them so that your food storage stockpile is going to last the longest. I like the Nido powdered milk. It doesn't last as long as non-fat dry milk, but no one in my family likes drinking the non-fat dry milk, so I don't buy it, and that's what you should do. If you don't like something, you don't eat it, don't get it. Find a substitute or something that you like, and that's what you should get. Don't forget to stock up on water. You need water for drinking every single day. You need some for washing. You need some for cooking and cleaning up. And so the basic rule is to have 1 gallon per person per day. Buy a container at the store and bring it home, or buy a larger container and fill it up yourself. I like to buy the Aquatainers. They come in like 5, 6, and 7 gallons of water at a time, and you can fill it up and set them aside. They're pretty sturdy. Then you have up to a week's worth of water in one container, and you don't have to worry about juggling around all the smaller bottles. But it's good to also have some smaller bottles in case you want to grab one on your way out the door. We never know when we have to leave our house in an emergency, and so if you have some water with an emergency kit, like a bug out bag with some grab and go, even just granola bars, then you'll be able to tide yourself over, so you'll have something to eat, some water to drink, until you can figure out what to do next. No one knows what's coming. We could wake up tomorrow and some of these doom and gloom predictions could have come true, and then there might be panic buying at the store. The last thing you want to do is run out to the store and get in the mob of people trying to grab things when you could stay safely at home knowing that you are prepared. If you are prepared, you're not scared. You're ready to face the future. Prepping is lifestyle insurance that I can continue to feed my family, have the things I need, and be safe in my home for as long as possible. That's why I'm a prepper, and I'm hoping that other people look forward with a positive outlook and try to make their world the best it can be as well. If you have other suggestions on how to start your food storage stockpile and how to get going again, leave it in the comments below. I hope you'll like my video, share it, and please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel.